Dramatically reduce stress and anxiety. I'm going to react to this HAMZA video and see if he's giving some good advice.
What I'm about to teach you is literally the most important habit of my day. And if you copy me, it'll take literally just 5 minutes and I don't think you'll look back. We're gonna do a daily check-in for our mental health. We're gonna ask ourselves how we're feeling mentally, making sure that we feel okay. And if we don't feel okay, it's gonna highlight it and we're gonna have a lot more compassion and we're gonna be able to focus on it immediately at the start of the day, which is probably gonna prepare us even better for the tasks that we later have to do.
I think starting off there, that's some good advice in terms of seeing how we feel. Oftentimes we can push down our feelings and depress it, which leads to depression, but actually acknowledging how we're feeling in our body. And we don't get taught that in school.
HAMZA, my mental health feels fine. So I'm gonna click off this video and click on one of the ones where you speak about getting pussy.
You're probably the person who needs this video the most. Someone who has shitty mental health knows it. But the guy who says he feels fine is generally the one who's got mild depression and mild anxiety. You need it the most. It's introspectiveness that we're doing here, and that's what makes you realize, like, oh yeah, like, you know, I'm living, but things could be better. Don't be fine when you're operating at 60% efficiency. You want to achieve something in this world, don't you? Why settle for 60%? Oh, I'm fine. But are you as good as you could be? No. Keep watching them, bitch. And if there's just one reason why I'm disappointed with my audience, I'm disappointed with men around the world, is because you motherfuckers don't care about your mental health. I'll look at the data of this video and I can guarantee you that it will underperform compared to the ones where I talk about how to get some stinky hole. Like, you will get laid, bro. You will. Step 0 to get laid is to improve your mental
We should care way more about our mental health. You know, we got to put more energy into it.
health. You want to make money? Step 0 to make a good amount of money is to improve your mental health. I've been saying that your mental health is like a prerequisite to anything that you actually want to do in your life. Most guys don't even realize that this is like the missing link. This is like the reason that you've been unable to find out why you just keep procrastinating against your work, why you like leave your work up until the last few days before the assignments, why you feel tired all the time, why you overthink about social situations or, you know, what that person said, or what should I say this, or, and it's also the reason why you feel insecure. It's all based on your mental health. Now imagine if you had very, very good mental health. Imagine if you felt like mental clarity and focus throughout the day and you were like, you know, actually achieving stuff. Why wouldn't you want that? Of course you want that. And just like if we wanted, you know, the muscular body, we'd have to go and put in the work. We'd have to think, okay, first let me learn about it, then let me go and practice it, and then let me get into like consistent training. Well, it's the exact same with mental health. You struggle with your brain. Most young guys I speak to, they always talk about procrastination. They talk about, oh, but studying's hard, HAMZA, and I don't study and I hate school and I social anxiety, HAMZA. You can improve all of that. All of that is just based on your mental health. So here is exactly what you do. You go onto your computer, create a new document. Now I use Notion, but you can literally use like Word or anything that you want. Create a new document and title it, How's My Mental Health? Every single morning, you're gonna come in and write the date. So today is Monday the 13th. You write the date and you just write a couple of sentences with how your mind is feeling. So maybe
This is a good idea in terms of journaling. They talk about it in Atomic Habits, James Clear. Just writing a sentence or two each day to start journaling. You know, it's keeping the habit going each day so we can see how we feel and express it. And all you need to write is one word or one sentence and just keep that habit going and stack upon it and stack upon it.
like anxious thoughts, which I actually had. I had one anxious thought this morning. What was it about? I think I've forgotten what it was about right now, so it probably wasn't. There you go. That's about as much as I would write. I'd write a couple of sentences. If something mentally felt like it was, you know, bothering me, I'd write it down. And generally, most of the time, at least for me personally, I end up writing that I actually feel mentally fine. I feel great. And I'm very like privileged and grateful to say that. Now, there are going to be days where you write that you're not doing so good. We need a little protocol. And one of the things that I've actually just realized, I didn't even write this in the script, is you can almost do an analysis to see what bothers your mental health the most. I don't even need to like scroll down, and I know the times where I don't feel mentally.
Journaling has been really helpful for me to just write things down and get it out of my own head. Just put it down on paper and put down the things that are bothering me and write about them. And I end up feeling better afterwards. It's just getting it out on paper and you can see it from another point of view.
Like, you know, fantastic. It's always related to women, like always. There is not a time where I don't feel mentally great about anything else. It's always related to like dating life and like girls that I'm seeing or anything. Kind of like interesting. So after you fill out this page with enough days, like a couple of weeks, you'll begin to just see like which area of your life is producing like the most stress or depression or anxiety. And you can probably tackle that area head on. So hopefully you've just taken action and you've done your first little check-in, and If you've wrote that you're not feeling great, if you wrote that you're feeling depressed or stressed or anxious, this might be one of the first times where you've actively like become aware of that and you've actively wrote it down somewhere. And now this can be your focus. So you can go ahead and give it some time and intention with journaling, exercise and meditation. The thing is, oftentimes,
right, yeah, so the action points, like we write down, okay, we're anxious, what can we actually do about it? You know, writing down why we might be anxious, but how can we get out of our head and back into our body? You know, some of the great ways that I've found: deep breathing, the Wim Hof breathing, getting into cold water, exercising, changing the food habits. Instead of having super sugary food, we can eat foods that are going to not spike our sugar levels so much, and we're going to keep at a more stable level. Foods that are good for our gut health. We've got this thing called the gut-brain axis, which is crucial, and it changed my life when I fixed my gut health. I was so in my head, having suicidal thoughts, and when I put more attention on the gut health and fix that, my mental health improved, because we're all one being, you know, from the top of the head down to the bottom. We're so connected. There's a massive nerve called the vagus nerve that goes from the brain down to the gut, and it sends most of its information upwards. So the foods we're eating, we're actually sending to our brain, and it tells us if we're feeling like shit or not. So we've got to feed it with good gut food.
we know that we're not feeling mentally great, but when we just take this extra step every day, just a couple of minutes to really just write it down and to really just sit there for a few seconds to think, okay, how am I feeling? Oh yeah, there was this thing I was stressing about and this thing. No,
I like it because it's a simple step. It's a simple thing we can do. And it's good just having those low-hanging fruits. What's a low-hanging fruit you can just grab and implement into your day? Just write down a sentence of how you're going, and you can have more of that awareness, introspection, and then do something to change it.
I feel awesome and everything. It really keeps you on top of your mental health, which I keep saying. As soon as you improve it, if you are someone who's had pretty bad mental health, as soon as you start to give it some real intention and to really level it up through self-improvements, like the rest of your life truly changes. I want you to remember that phrase. Step zero to...
That's true. Step zero. The first thing we should be looking at is our mental health. You could be in the Bahamas on a yacht, and still, if you're not feeling good inside mentally, external world isn't going to make that much of a difference. If we're not feeling peace on the inside, if our thoughts are bad, if we're really anxious and depressed, then you could be in a beautiful location but still feeling terrible on the inside. So really looking after our mental health, doing those foundational things every day to make ourselves feel better. So if you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and hey, let's just improve our mental wellness together.